cheeky little fucker.
Yes, guys, big up to everyone here. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. I know it's a late one. Been busy all day. I've had no time. But yeah, I'm with you now, guys. I'm with you now. And the man on our screen, Dominik Szoboszlai, is now a Liverpool player. Officially a Liverpool player. What a player. What a signing this is. We've got this great man to thank for it. Yes, there he is. The great man himself. The great man himself. Here you go. When we do business, we do business properly. And the great man has spoken. Lord Almighty. Big up John Henry. Big up John Henry. Look at the beautiful man. Godlike. Yeah, getting this through the door, guys. But yes, guys. How are we all? Hope we're all doing well. Guys, don't forget to go and smash that like button as soon as you come into the video. I'd really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're new around here as well. On our way to 5,000 subscribers. Subscribers are flying at the moment. Big up to everyone that's new as well, joining the video in the last few days. I do appreciate the brand new subscribers and the old subscribers and everyone here, of course. So I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Loads to talk about. France apparently have been, everyone's telling me in the chat right now. So France have been chucked out of the Euros. France out of the Euros 2020. Is Thuram available now? Are we actually going for Thuram? Was Thuram always a smokescreen to go for Szoboszlai? Was he always a smokescreen? So we had a clear run at Szoboszlai? Who knows? Are we going to get Lavia? Lavia is the one everyone's chatting about right now. There's a lot of talk coming out from Liverpool. Liverpool are looking at a more defensive-minded midfielder as their third transfer dealing. And they're looking at Lavia from Southampton. So, interesting, guys, to say the least. But, yeah, Dominik Szoboszlai, it's hard. You got to really slow yourself down when you go to say it. I saw, I think Liverpool put a short up earlier on their YouTube channel, getting Dominik Szoboszlai to say his name correctly. So it's Szoboszlai. Yeah, we're all going to get it wrong every day. Don't worry about that. But yeah, Dominik Szoboszlai in through the door. Obviously got Alexis McAllister in through the door as well. We have spent £95 million outlay on them two players alone. It's a great bit of business. When you think of the business going around at the moment, the players that are coming in, look at Declan Rice going to Arsenal. That's not official yet. Still not official. I don't know what they're waiting for over at Arsenal to make that official, but he's going for 105 million. We bought Szoboszlai and Alexis McAllister for £10 million cheaper. Now, I'm not saying Declan Rice ain't a fantastic footballer, because he's a fantastic footballer. But we bought two fantastic footballers ourselves for £10 million cheaper than one Declan Rice. This is what I keep saying about business, guys, and the way Liverpool do business. The way we do business is, I keep saying it. When we actually bother to do business, we do business the best in the Premier League, in my opinion, for top players. You go through, especially under Jurgen Klopp, in the era Jurgen Klopp has been at Liverpool, you go through the players Liverpool brought through the door. Mo Salah for 35 million, Mane for around 35 million, Bobby Firmino was 29 million. Diaz was 50 mil, I think. Gakpo for 36 million to 44 million with add-ons. We can buy players. Robbo for 8 million. We got we definitely got eye for players. Matip was a free. And when we need to spend, we spend. When we have to spend, we do. Alisson, world record fee for a goalkeeper. Virgil van Dijk, world record fee for a centre back. Darwin Núñez last season cost 65 million. I know Darwin Núñez hasn't hit the ground running yet as people wanted, but I think we all forget we spent 65 million on that guy last year. So when we have to spend, we do spend, and we usually spend quite well in the transfer market alone. Jota as well, don't forget Jota. Players we brought in. The players we brought in are really, really good. Now, I know a lot of people are talking about the homegrown quota, yeah? So the homegrown quota everyone's chatting about right now. I think that's why they're going for Lavia, because Lavia will count as homegrown after he's 21, won't he? How old's Lavia now, guys? Everyone know in the chat? How old's Lavia right now? Can't remember how old he is. What is he? Born? He's 19. So, yeah, another under 21-year-old, which will be fine. As long as they're under 21, it'll be all right for the homegrown thing. We can't buy another player that's not homegrown over the age of 21, I believe, because then we'd only be able to register 22 players next season. So what I've been hearing today is that if we buy another under 21-year-old player, because you don't have to register them, you're fine. If we buy a player that's over 21 years of age and he don't count as homegrown, we can only register 22 homegrown players, which the club don't seem too worried about, I have to say. There's nothing really about selling right now. We don't look like we're selling many players. I think about Joel Matip today, the possibility of Liverpool selling Joel Matip. I'm not sure on that one. The possibility of selling Joe Gomez this summer has come up. I don't think we'll sell Joe Gomez. If we're talking about homegrown quota, it makes no sense selling Joe Gomez, because then you're getting rid of a homegrown player, So, yeah, I don't think we go to... Yeah, I don't think Joe Gomez is going to go anywhere. Liverpool are after a centre back as well. It's exciting times at the moment to be a Liverpool fan. Yeah, look, we had a terrible season last year. We finished 5th in the Premier League. The season never really got going for us. Yeah, we won some good games, and we lost terrible games. Them losses back to back to people like Nottingham Forest and Leeds United, I will never forget. They're just awful losses. And you look back on the season now, it's finished. You're like, how did we lose back to back games? We beat Man City 1-0. Then we went to Nottingham Forest and lost. And then Leeds come to Anfield and beat us. And you look back at it and think, now, when the season's all fresh and done, everything's gone, you look back at it and go, how did that happen? In all honesty, how the hell did that happen? The season never really got going for Liverpool Football Club. The 2 draws at the beginning of the season, yeah, it just killed everything. It's nothing really, really happened. You got some good things to come out of last season, like the 7-0 against United. That will never be forgotten. 7-1s against Rangers, the big wins against Ajax. There were some big results last season. 9-0 against Bournemouth. And then we lose 2 in a row against Nottingham Forest and Leeds. So I'm saying, last season, it never started. It never happened. It was terrible. I don't know what it was about. I literally don't know what last season was about. But the club have realised that this season, this summer, and this following season, 23-24 season, Liverpool cannot have that afford. Liverpool cannot afford that to happen again. They just can't. So they're going all out. They're going all out to rebuild this midfield, and they're rebuilding it for the future as well. And now a lot of Liverpool fans, there's a lot of Liverpool fans that are online that are not entirely happy with these two transfers right now. Some Liverpool fans are happy with Dominik Szoboszlai. They're happy with Alexis McAllister, but they don't think they're the right transfers at this moment in time. You know, a lot of people think we should have got a Bellingham, we should have got a Tchouaméni, them kind of caliber of midfielders, and then got these two after it. So not a lot of Liverpool fans are still that happy. But as I look at it, look, Bellinghams of this world, they go, you know, it is what it is. It never happened. Is Szoboszlai that much worse of a footballer than Bellingham, than Jude Bellingham? I don't think so. Are you telling me Jude Bellingham is that much better? Is so much better than Szoboszlai? Is that much better than McAllister? I don't know. I don't know about that. I think he's a fabulous little player, Bellingham. Of course he is. But is he that much better? That he's going to be such a game changer? Will Bellingham alone be such a game changer? I'm not sure. I think everyone just got so worked up about the Bellingham stuff that they just couldn't get it out of their head that Bellingham's not coming to Liverpool and no one's better than Bellingham. That was the problem with it. That was the problem with it. Big up Gunben. How you doing, my friend? It's been a while. Big up, my friend. Been a while. Hope you're doing well, man. I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Big up Fozzie in the house. If you don't want these players, say goodbye to Klopp. These two suited clubs, listening to that. Fozzie, if you're available, mate, I'll send you the link. Let me know. Fozzie, if you're available, I'll send you a link and come and chat up about this with me. Big up Harry and Chow. You're doing well. I reckon we agree personal terms tomorrow with Lavia. Big up King. How you doing? Kings man 07. How you doing, man? Jamie, the under 21s will win the final now. Yeah, France have gone out. I'm shocked about that. Judah has spent half the season in a medical room. They chose Madrid to move on your. They chose Madrid to move on you, bitter saddest. Whoa! I'm not bitter. Oh, Alex, I take it you're talking about other people. I was about to say. Big up Solo in the house. How you doing? France been knocked out. Yeah, my man. Big up to you. I'm good, bro. Moved house, then went on my summer hold. Had a well-needed break away from the internet. Big up Gunbear. Nothing better, man. Nothing better. Sometimes I wish I could take a break from the internet. You know what I mean? Keeping it level in the house. Big up to you, my man. Big up to you. Delwyn in the house. What centre back you reckon we're going to get? So the rumours of the centre back Liverpool are after, they want a young defender, don't they? They want a young centre back coming in. I think that's why they were looking at that. Is it that Mickey Van Ven? I think that's why they were looking at a player like him. They want a young centre back to come in. You know, if you look at Kanate, when we brought him in, young centre back, what was he, 21 when we got Kanate through the door? Young centre back. He never played a lot of Premier League games that first season. Actually played more Champions League games, didn't he? Seemed to play a lot of Champions League games, was in and out in the Premier League team. You know, it was either Matip or Kanate playing with Virgil that season. But I think that's what Liverpool are looking at again, another young centre-back, because Kanate has come out and said he prefers to play on the left-hand side of a back four. So that's where Virgil plays now. So obviously Virgil's not going to be at Liverpool forever. So they're going to look at eventually probably moving Kanate into that left-sided centre-back area, and then buying a right-sided centre-back to partner Kanate for the future. Maybe that's what they're looking at. So, yeah, it's interesting. Let me know in the chat with who you think, guys. What young centre-back do you think Liverpool should go and go after this summer? Because I believe the work Paul Joyce put out a tweet and Fabrizio Romano put out a tweet today saying Liverpool still want another midfielder and looking at Lavia, which we'll get to in a minute. But they also want a defensive reinforcements. So we might be getting a Lavia and a defender as well. 4 players this transfer market. You know, I'm happy with that. Some people might not be happy with that. They might want 6, 7 players coming in, another right back, a left back, another attacker. But I've always said it, you know, you can't buy too many players in one summer window because it upsets the rhythm of your football team. upsets the rhythm of your squad, having too many players in it. And also you got to be realistic. How much you go to spend? Who you go to get in? And so yeah, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. Right, before I carry on here, guys, let me just send a link to Fozzie. There we go. We'll get Fozzie in here as well. Where have we all gone? There we are. But yeah, let me know in the chat, guys. Let me know in the chat who you think Liverpool might go after. Big up. Jones has been unreal for the under 21s. Yeah, I've heard Jones and Elliott have been actually have been decent, but I've heard Curtis Jones has actually been lighting it up, which I'm really happy about. So I think Curtis Jones is a talented boy. I really do think Curtis Jones is a talented boy. I think Curtis Jones has got more about his game than Harvey Elliott for us right now, and I never used to think that. I used to thought Harvey Elliott was the new star boy for Liverpool Football Club, but when Curtis Jones got his game time and started playing, he's a good little player. He's got talent. Big up Goat Since Jamie Effin. We got the better players. They want you, us, and I prefer that. Big up Goat Since. Big up to you. I'd rather have Big Mac and Big Dom than Jujet. Same. Buzzing we are. Big up any roll ups. How you doing, McAllister? And Szoboszlai, 100%. Yeah. Szoboszlai, biggest asset in his elite mentality, will stand right out straight away. Hams are going in Cassia, in Chow, is it? In a Chow? I can never pronounce these names. Yeah, that's the geezer from Sporting, ain't it? Everyone keeps going on about. Bellingham's not going to let not talk about him anymore. Yeah, exactly. He's gone, man. Yeah, Jamie, it's boring to talk about Madrid players that directed Liverpool. Big up to you, my friend. I would let Levi Roots. I would let Levi Roots to come through the door. Levi Carwell. Yeah, Levi Carwell's a decent little player. Captain Cell says, what about Bella Kochak? Yeah, Southampton as well, wasn't he? Was he at Southampton as well? Judy's class would loved him, Liverpool, but he's lost. Yeah, everyone he's a great player, but I'm happy with what we've got. Let me get Fozzie in here. How you doing, man?
Yeah, mate. One second, please.
I'll let you sort yourself. Yeah. Mark Guay. Yeah, Mark Guay's a good little player, you know. Colwell's the one. I think everyone wants Colwell, but I don't think Chelsea going to let him go to any rival.
No chance.
No, Chelsea are not going to let him go to any rival. Yeah, apparently Govardale needs apparently Man City have put £86 million bidding for him or something just now. Apparently, so yeah, he's going to be the most expensive defender of all time.
Think they've got too many centre backs, Jamie? Like, how many centre backs do they need?
Well,
is Laporte going or something?
I think Thingy's leaving the club, ain't he? Laporte. I think Laporte's leaving.
Wow.
I think Laporte's at the end of his contract. I think Laporte's leaving. And I think with Stones, I don't know what they're doing with John Stones. They're just making midfielder now. Yeah. And they got Ake and Akanji. Yeah, they're solid, man. They're solid. But you know what Pep said? Apparently, Pep's trying to make his Man City team now more physical.
Wow.
He's trying to get rid of the flair side of it now, and he wants a more physical Manchester City team. And he actually said, there was an article about it, and he actually said that he wants it a bit like Liverpool's physicality when they had their physicality. That's what he's looking at. So
is it me, or are we switching with them? Like, we're becoming more technical.
And they're going more physical. It does seem that way. Yeah. If you look at all the players they're interested in as well, it's they're all more physical, robust footballers as well.
Yeah, but what do you think of this, Jamie? Like Ahmed Field next season, do we still need one more? Or that is it? You think now?
I think we go get Lavia.
I think Fabrizio Romano actually is sure about it. He's just put obviously a tweet up as well.
And I think Paul Joyce said something earlier about it as well, saying like Liverpool looking for one more midfielder, but Klopp also wants defensive reinforcements. So it's going to be interesting, man. Look, it's happy days. We're doing business. I'm happy. I love transfer. I love a transfer window when we're actually doing stuff. You know?
Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. But the most important thing is the age is coming down on our team, isn't it? Like gradually. So the team is getting younger and younger as we go along, and that's more important for me than anything. So, like in the next 7 to 8 years, we could like build. You know what I mean? Like and keep winning if we can, like trophies along the way as well. Instead of like stop starting like we've been doing it recently.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we need that. That's why they want a young centre back in as well. Apparently, that's the rumours. So they want a centre back that's young, a bit like Konate when he came in. Was he 21 when he came in, Konate?
Yeah.
I think they're looking at that age, a quality young centre back that can come in, because Konate said he prefers to play on the left hand side of a back four, and that's where Virgil plays right now. Mm-hmm. So I think Liverpool got to eventually. One day it's going to happen where Virgil comes out the team. Maybe put Konate and they're looking for another young. That's why we've been, I think, linked to that Mickey van der Ven, is it, or whatever his name is?
Oh, that player in Germany, Wolfsburg. Yeah, he's good, but he's prone to mistakes from what I've heard as well, Jamie. You know those left-footed centre backs, apart from Aga, of course, but they're just prone to mistakes for some reason, mate.
Because they can't. I've read something about left-footed people, right? Because I'm right-handed, right-footed. Yeah. But my mate's weird. He's right-handed but left-footed. I don't get how that works. But I think there's something about left-footed people that their balance is not quite the same as a right-footed player.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what it's more natural to balance onto your right foot, and if your left foot's sort of behind you, ain't it? And yeah, you got to do it the other way around if you're left-footed, and maybe that's why sometimes when you see left-footed centre backs, that's why they sometimes slip over a lot more than right-footed centre back. Maybe something to do with that. Maybe they're just clumsy.
It's crazy though. Like who was it? Sacco? We used to have. He was clumsy, wasn't he? Jimmy Terry was proper clumsy. And then you look at the good ones that's a left-footed. Like what was it? Laporte and that was it the one who used to play for Tottenham? What's his name? I forgot his name. That tall one that they had at the back. I'm talking about Laporte and people like that that's comfortable with the ball. They normally get injured a lot, if you know what I mean. But the ones that's clumsy, they stay along for they stay obviously fit for a long time, but they're just not gonna get better. Look at Aga. He was a left-footed centre back, comfortable. Gets injured a lot. See, so that's what I'm saying. The comfortable ones are the ones that get injured a lot. The ones who are clumsy, they stay fit longer. I don't know how that works. It's weird. It's weird.
I think everyone's in the chat's asking you to turn your mic up a little bit.
Apparently. Oh, sorry, mate.
I mean, it's nice to me. It's good, but the chat, I think they're finding it a bit low. Big up, Bobby.
That's what I was. Vertonghen? That's his name. Yeah, that's it. Vertonghen. That's it.
Oh, sorry, Vertonghen. Yes. Big up, Bobby. How you doing, mate? RJ, and big up. Now get ready to unleash Darwin next season with all the midfielder Trent assisting him. Should we raise Sevilla for defenders? Yeah, Sevilla put every player up for sale, ain't they? Because they've got money issues, ain't they? So they put every player up for sale. Big up, Wolf in the house. How you doing? It's been a while, my friend. Hope you're doing well.
Is that better? Can you hear me properly?
Yeah. I heard you quite well before, to be fair. But what the chat wants, the chat gets. Yeah, let's get them 100 likes up, guys. Big up Frank as well. Frank, I know you want to get together, so email me, mate. If you go on my
big up Frank.
Yeah, if you go on my YouTube homepage, Frank, and go to the About section, you go. My email link is there. So yeah, get in contact me, Frank. Jamie, it's the finest window for a number of years. I'll be honoured if you do my pod. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries, man. You know. Yeah, just go on the emails, man, or swap emails and stuff. For sort's sake. Yeah, there is exceptions, Scraps. You know, man. There is exceptions. Like, you got a goat of a defender there. There's exceptions. Like Messi's left-footed. I've never seen him stumble once in my life. There is exceptions, of course.
It's just the centre backs. Yeah.
Yeah. Big up, Jack. I'd like to see Thuram, to be honest. Yeah, the Thuram stuff. So, do you think, Fozzie, that Thuram was a smokescreen for Szoboszlai?
Mate, with our transfers, they're strange. They're strange, mate. I think the only time we wake up is when other teams go for our transfer. Have you noticed that, Jamie? It's like Newcastle went for Szoboszlai, and then all of a sudden we're waking up. You know what I mean? I think Thuram was always in the picture. I honestly think that because we need that type of midfielder, don't we? All adventurous. Because we got two technical midfielders now. So where's the gun ho midfielder, the one who's going to run up and down that pitch and support the team. So if we have two technical midfielders, we need the other one, don't we, Jamie? That's going to be different to the other two. So I think Thuram's always been in the picture, and I think they are going to get him eventually the way it's going at the moment. But I don't think it's a smokescreen. I think it's just we was waiting for a while. And as soon as Newcastle went in for Szoboszlai, all of a sudden Liverpool just wake up. I mean, it's the same with Diaz and Tottenham in January. So we always do this for some reason. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But I think Thuram is a genuine transfer that we want to get 100%, Jamie.
Yeah, look, I like Thuram. What I've seen from him, he's a ball carrier midfielder as well. He runs aggressively. He's got big stride pattern. He has his head up when he's running as well, so his vision's good. I like them kind of midfielders. I'm just looking at it now and thinking, does he want a more defensive-minded player coming in? Does he think Stefan Bajcetic has got a future at the football club? Because if we are looking at Lavia, I've been thinking, I thought of this today. Yeah. If we are actually looking at Lavia to come into Liverpool, like Fabrizio and Paul Joyce has said today, looks like we want him. It looks like we're going to put a transfer over him. He's a DM, right? Yeah. And you watched him for Southampton. He's a DM. He's a different kind of DM to a Fabinho, but he's a DM. He's a sitting midfielder. Yeah. And you got Stefan there, because people on this chat spoke about it as well. Why are we going for Lavia when we've got Stefan? Very similar players. Play the same kind of role. They're not that. They're not that aggressive number 6. They're more of a ball playing number 6, but that they play a similar role. Yeah. If we're going for someone like Lavia, what does that mean for Stefan? Because I think
Stefan's for the future, bro. I honestly think that. Sorry, go, Jamie. You was going to say something.
I was about to say, because Stefan was never in Liverpool's plans.
Exactly.
He sort of got into the squad by accident last season because of injuries, didn't he? Yeah. And then he came into the squad, and to fairness to Stefan, he played so well, Klopp couldn't leave him out. I mean, Fabinho was sitting bench. Yeah. Fabinho was sitting bench, and let's face it, if Stefan didn't get injured, I think Fabinho might have still been sitting bench.
Even Thiago, I think Salah said that he's been our best player this season, didn't they, Stefan? So it shows. Yeah.
It's an interesting one. Let me just read Gangadeep's message out. Be out, Gangadeep. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate it. Great start. Need another midfielder and a centre back. So let's see. Can't get off FSG's case just like that. Mentioned previously, it's the next windows. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. I'll be looking at it as well. We need a strength and winning position of power. I agree. And it's what irritates, I think, a lot of the fan base is that, a lot of the fan base obviously hate FSG. I don't hate FSG. I just feel like if they're not willing to do business anymore, then just, move on, sell up, make your massive profit.
Exactly.
Give it to someone else who is willing to do it, yeah?
Yeah.
But I don't think they're not terrible. They're very good businessmen. Let's face it. Look at the club, the way it's run, behind everything, behind the scenes and all that. And it's a well-run club, good structure and all that sort of stuff. If they just put in and do what they're doing now, every transfer window, they don't have to do the same transfer window every year. If they're getting, next summer, just go and get a couple of players in areas that we need to advance their following season. And I think most of the fan base will be happy because they're not. It's just I don't get FSG from that standpoint because they've obviously got the money to do it.
Yeah,
they've obviously got the finances to do it. As I keep saying, Liverpool Football Club by name only will always be a bigger brand than most of the Premier League.
Spot on.
And so, because of that, Liverpool always should have more money to spend and be able to actively go in the transfer market without any kind of, hearing every summer of Liverpool playing with limited funds. That shouldn't be coming out of anyone's mouth. West Ham, you never hear West Ham journalists going, West Ham are playing with limited funds. You never hear Brighton are playing with limited funds. But
you don't.
One of the top 5 biggest clubs in world football, I don't care what anyone says, Liverpool Football Club, you shouldn't be hearing they're playing with limited funds. And that's what annoys the fan base. And that's why arguments start all the time. And obviously, They found money for this summer.
How's that surprise? Is it surprising? Like, it's surprising everybody. You know what I mean? Like 2 players all of a sudden, 95 million we've spent. How is that possible if you have no money at all? It's a lot of things that I don't understand about FSG, mate. With these owners, it's difficult, Jamie. You know, when you own more than one franchise, you know what I mean? It's difficult. You know what I mean? So they have to spend money in baseball. Now they have to spend money in hockey. Next they're going for basketball. So how are you going to keep all this up? And not only that, like each time something that invests comes in, it's never towards Liverpool. Have you noticed that? It's always up towards FSG, like Redbird, like Nike. So where's that money gone? I mean, this is what we've got to think about. And like you said, we're not Bournemouth, but Bournemouth and all these teams always spend. We're the ones who always get shortchanged. What's the reason for things like this? It's crazy, Jamie. Honestly.
And you know what? I don't even mind I'm going to get onto the net spend thing in a minute because that irritates me. There's no such thing as net spend. But I don't mind a Bournemouth outspending me sometimes. Yeah, if they've gone and bought, 7 players that wouldn't even touch Liverpool's team, but Liverpool have gone and bought. Like Liverpool bought McAllister for 35 million, right? And Szoboszlai and it's a combined of 95 million. Bournemouth spend 110 million pounds, and they buy 8 really average players. Have they shown more ambition than Liverpool? Not necessarily, because
no, not really.
Liverpool got the better footballers in at the better deals. So I've never worried about that. My thing is the ambition part of it. Now, ambition is what we're showing at the moment. McAllister's 35 million, quality footballer. I don't care what anyone says. People go to pretend now he's not very good, right? Because that's what happens. But he's a quality footballer. Messi said in the World Cup, I wanted him to have the ball all the time because I knew I'd get it. There's a reason they talk like this. Szoboszlai, quality player as well. So just do them kind of deals. Show that kind of ambition. Not the Ricky Lamberts and the Breenys or previous years, because that's not ambition. No. Show the ambition of these kind of players. I don't care about £300 million transfer windows. If you're buying trash, if you're wasting money, look at Man United. They outspend everyone in England comfortably. Right.
You just hit the nail on the head there, Jamie. Like, you look at Man United, why aren't they successful when they're spending that much money? Because they haven't got the right manager in charge. When you got the right manager in charge, you got to spend you got to spend. You can't just leave the guy on the sideline when everybody else is spending. Like when people say as well, JB, it's Klopp's fault. Yes, tactically Klopp is his fault, but the money and all that stuff, that's something to do with FSG. FSG always come out and say they need investors. So that shows it's not Klopp's problem, it's the owner's problem. So I had to convince some people today about that. We keep blaming Klopp, but Klopp is not the investor. He's the one who manages the team. So the investing side is the owners, and they're always looking for people to invest in the club. I don't know who's going to invest in the club, JB, without buying it. I don't know who's dumb enough to do that.
Well,
but
that's what we're going to get into.
So yeah, you look at the things like that, mate. It's crazy. Their way is not going to work anymore. They need to start thinking. You got to start spending, because we stood still while our rivals are getting better, Jamie. And look where we are now. We're not even in the Champions League football anymore, mate. And Arsenal's getting Rice and all these stuff. I don't care about what they buy, but still, man. But at least they showed ambition. That's the most important thing if you look at other teams.
Exactly. MP, Jamie, you look like a ghost. You need a new camera. No, I am this white. I am. I don't think that's why the scarf is proper black. It's a black scarf. The camera's all right. I am just this white. I've got Albany red hair. I am. Yeah,
you know what it is, Jamie? Because normally you have a dark background, innit? You have the books behind you and all that stuff. That's why.
I've got a whiter background now. I've got my camera light on, my ring light on, and the room light on. So yeah, it might be just because of the brightness in here. Let me turn this light off a minute. There you go. See, look, I'm not as milky now. But yeah, that's all it is, man. That's all it is. I'm a bit milky.
Go on, Jamie.
Go on. No, go on.
I was saying, with these transfer people, it's very, very under what you call it, under the the people underestimate it. They think like it's not, they're not as good as like what we wanted to buy in Bellingham and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I think these two players are going to be great at Liverpool Football Club. Just give them time and patience, and I think they're going to do more damage in that midfield than any other team. That's what I think. Because the way people are talking, Jamie, is they want that glamorous signings in it, but it's not always going to be that way with FSG. So this is a good business. This too is good business in my opinion, Jamie.
No, it's quality business. I think GIC has invested in the club like Bajan has been saying for a while on his channel. Yeah, there's rumours that FSG got some kind of loan to do the summer transfer window, which, you know, a lot of people keep saying, like, because you go back to Arsenal, 2 seasons ago, they got a loan of 150 million to go do their transfer business, didn't it? And it started them off, you know, where they're going now. And a lot of people, and a lot of teams do this, by the way. They get loans, heavy loans, out or take stock out or anything like that, and put it into the club for transfers. And then because the bank can see what you're earning, they'll give you that money, no problem, and then you just give it back. But our owners have never liked doing that. They've publicly come out and said it before. They do not like taking out bank loans. Don't mind taking loans out of the club and paying it back that way, but they won't take out bank loans. So, yeah, it's something's definitely happened though. Either they just found their arse and they started moving, or look, I don't care how it happens. I've always said it. I think if you got owners that aren't spending money, but they get someone else to come in and spend the money for them, I think that's a way of cheating. Personally, you know, I look at it that way. But every month, it looks like all the top teams cheat now. So why don't we?
Why you want to be left behind, isn't it? Why you want to be?
No one else is getting done for it. Guaranteed, though, Liverpool get done for it straight away. Yeah, but yeah.
It was, listen, Jamie, it was always going to be tough for FSG, you know what I mean? It was all, especially from the game they come from. They do trading in America, innit? They don't do financing like this. No, exactly. So it's a shock to them, isn't it? And yeah, man, this was always coming. You know what I mean? If we didn't refresh the squad earlier, like I said to you in a previous stream, if we planned it earlier, like when we bought the marquee signing, you buy younger players, then you won't have these issues. If those young players are going to be the ones that's going to be taking over eventually. And they didn't plan it that way. And now this is what happens. Now they have to spend money, and by any means necessary, they have to spend now, Jamie. Otherwise, we're going to be falling way behind. Our rivals are like getting quality players, and now it looks like we're doing the same thing. And yeah, we should be back up there. A lot of people saying like we're not going to be challenging, but like I've said in my streams, what's the point not challenging? We haven't got a new manager. We've got the same manager that challenged before, you know what I mean? So he's got to be challenging. Fergie missed one season, then next season is challenging. That's how these top managers go. I understand if it's a brand new manager, then you start from nothing and wait for 5 years. But I'm not going to wait that long, man. In my opinion, Jamie, once you start the season, no matter where you are, if you're an old manager in the team, you have to challenge, mate. There's no excuses for that, man. I'm sorry. Because the way people are talking like we're not going to be challenging, what's the point then of Jurgen Klopp being there then? Might as well just go and get a manager that's got plans for the long term.
Good point. Jamie's a wide version of Steve Hay. Hang on. Steve Hay's got £240, man. What are you saying? Yeah, I got swimming. I was a swimmer forever, so I got swimming shoulders. That may be what it was. I did. I was a proper swimmer as well. I did better competitions. But yeah, that's probably what it is. Any other chats here? I think I had one saved that I wanted to read out. Yeah, scraps. If we were going to get Lavia and Thuram, it would cost like 85 to 90 million. At that point, we might as well just go and get Caicedo. Now, I've seen people say this. Like, what is the point of going and spending 50 million on Lavia when you can put an extra 20 million on it and go and get Caicedo?
Exactly.
And I understand everyone saying that as well, but maybe Klopp don't rate him. Maybe it's that. Maybe Klopp don't rate Caicedo like he rates Lavia. Who knows? Wow. I mean, if you're looking at both of them, if you look at both footballers, this is their breakout season. I know Caicedo played a little bit of games the season before.
Yeah.
But this was his real breakout season, wasn't it? obviously this was Lavia's first professional season as well. So maybe Klopp just looking at it and maybe thinking, no, I prefer Lavia. I've got Stefan and Lavia. They're my future in that area. You know, and then I've got McAllister and Szoboszlai, sorry, and I've got Trent, who might eventually be in that position.
So what's wrong with the other two then? Have you given up the other two, like Harvey Elliott and Jones?
You got Jones and Elliott. You got. I mean, there's players there. Maybe you just don't feel like he wants him, because it is a weird one when an extra 20 million gets you, unless Liverpool spoke to him and it's going to cost more than that. Maybe it's 80, 90 million for Caicedo. I think it's going to be hard to get Caicedo out of Brighton this summer.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Let McAllister go. They've had their pants pulled down on McAllister a little bit. And
they compete in the Europa League next season as well.
And they're in the Europa League.
Yeah.
They got Mohamed Dahoud is in it now. So maybe they're thinking, we don't want to lose. If Caicedo's going, it's going to cost.
And he signed a new contract, didn't he, in January? So
yeah,
it's going to be tough getting him out there.
Big up, Michael. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing good. Who would you sign, Lavia or Thuram, if you had to choose one?
I don't know. That's a tough one, that one.
It's a tough one. Kone. I could choose. I think I'd probably go Thuram. Yeah, I like the sort of player Thuram is. That's a player I like watching. That kind of player. The Lavia one's a bit of a gamble for me. It is a bit of a gamble because he's had one professional season at Southampton.
Yeah.
He played a lot of football. Yes, he looked good. I'm not going to pretend he didn't look good. He looked like a fantastic little boy. But my problem is, I would have got Lavia this season if we already bought people like Szoboszlai and McAllister last season.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
They would have been at the club for 12 months and more used to what Jurgen wants to do and what the club's about and all that sort of stuff, and have been more settled in the club. And then you can go and get a young gamble like that, maybe the following season. But because we can't afford to have that okay season this year. We just can't. It's got to be a
can't, man. No way.
Especially the way the Premier League is now. Newcastle got cash.
Everybody's improving, mate.
Spending. Everyone's rich. So we can't afford to stay still. We got to hit the ground running. We've seen our opening fixtures as well for the first 6 games. Liverpool got to
Ain't easy, mate.
Liverpool got to get straight onto it. So for that reason alone, I would probably go Thuram, and then you got Stefan and Fabinho as your number 6s for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
I'll say it like that. Fabinho and Stefan as your number 6s for the rest of the season. And people will go, I'm not sure about them two as my DMs. But then if I say you go get Lavia and Fabinho, everyone's sort of happy about it. But then there's other people telling me that Stefan's as good as Lavia, so why buy Lavia? So it's an awkward one. But then you've got a big future. If you go Lavia, you've got Lavia and Stefan as your...
It's all about the present and the future, yeah? That's what it's all about. I mean, the reason we're in this place is because we didn't build. You know what I mean? Now we've got the opportunity to do that. Why don't you take advantage of it so you could compete for the coming seasons after this as well as this season if it come in. Yeah, I think Thuram, from what I've seen of him, he looks like a big player. He's not like a small, slight player. So, and he's brave as well, Jamie. That's what I like about him. He's willing to get in. Still a lot of improvements to do with his technical ability and his shooting ability as well. I think there's a lot of stuff to work there with Jurgen Klopp. But Jurgen Klopp, that's what he does, innit? He loves improving players, and I think this is why he wants to go for him instead of other players. But listen. If we get Lavia, I'm not going to complain about it at the end of the day, Jamie. I'm not. But Thuram is the one.
It's just Lavia's a little bit more of a gamble. But we saw his quality. We all can't sit here and pretend we didn't see his quality. That's why Arsenal were in for him. That's why Liverpool are looking for him. That's why Man City got a buyback clause on him. Yeah, that is activated, I think, the season after this one coming up. So there's reasons for that these top clubs are wanting him because there's ability there. It's just where we need to get back next season. I'm just wondering if it's too much of a gamble. But like Michael says, he's more of a natural DM, and we need that defensive midfield stability. Because if we're letting Dominik do his thing, we're letting McAllister do his thing, we want them to be a bit more advanced. We don't want them sitting back and doing the defensive work. We want them to be creative, getting further up the field.
Yeah.
Then you need that more athletic, defensive-minded midfielder in that midfield, don't you? And
like you said, like, you don't want people carrying the midfielder. Like, you want the midfielder to be the first one, like getting to tackles and all that stuff, and starting from the back going forward. And he looks more. These two players look more mobile than Fabinho anyway. So I hope we get them, but I think we could only get one anyway. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I think Southampton is asking for 50 million for Lavia, and I don't think Liverpool is going to go that far, man. That's a bit too far.
I think we're getting cheaper than that.
You think so?
I think we're getting cheaper than that. I think we're very good at getting players cheaper than the asking price a lot of the time. So I think Liverpool. I think we're getting cheaper than 50 mil. Why did we not go for Agate? Yeah, Agate was 52 million. And everyone said we didn't go for Agate because of the buyout clause. I mean, I don't think we can say that now. I think we didn't go for Agate because the club don't rate him.
They don't rate him, mate. They didn't.
I think I'm not a particular big fan of Agate. The games I've seen him play, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know a lot about Agate because that would be a lie. I've watched him play a few games. And the games I watched him in, it might have just been the games I watched him in. He was excellent in other games, but he goes to ground too much for me. He goes to ground too much.
But isn't that what we're missing, though, Jamie? Aggression in the midfield.
But the way we
got enough
play,
aggression.
The way we play with that stability in the playing that high line, you can't have your midfielders going to ground a lot, can you? And leaving them holes behind. We that's not the way we sort of play, is it? So, we see what it's like when Fabinho goes to ground. He misses the tackle, and there's like
they get behind him, big gap
behind him. So, they're only the games I've seen him play, though. So don't come for me in the chat, guys, if he doesn't do that all the time. They're just the games I've seen him play. So, yeah, I just don't think the club rate him. I think that's what it was.
I think it was just speculation. That's what it was. I haven't heard anyone from the club, the reporters close to the club, ever mention him coming to Liverpool. So, nah.
Yeah, I think maybe just PSG always had that player in anyway. So, teams speak to teams all the time. They probably found out that PSG was after Agate from time and already done a lot of the donkey work. Yeah. So you're never going to get the player if that's the case, are you? So there's no point.
No chance, man.
Didn't Agate get like 15 yellows this season? That's what I'm saying, man.
He ain't gonna last in the Premier League that long, is he?
If he's aggressive there, God, Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's definitely. Gravenberch dead in the water. Do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, it's over.
I think they really wanted Gravenberch.
They did,
but they're not going to wait for Bayern Munich to decide if they want him or not.
Yeah,
so they will need to move quick in the transfer market this summer. If we already had our players at the club, I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool went back in for him in January.
Yeah, he's only young, isn't he? He's only 21.
Yeah, January. Liverpool might look at him in January if he's not playing any games from the start of the season till January, and he's still a bit part player. Don't know about everyone in the chat and you, Fozzie. I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool might have a little look at him in January.
I won't be surprised, especially like I think I think Thiago might leave next season. So if we could get him early as his replacement, why not get him in January? And he's desperate to join Liverpool. That's the most important thing, first of all, guys. Like he's a Liverpool fan and he wants to join the club. And if he doesn't get enough game time next season, expect something probably to happen in January. 100%, Jamie. I agree with you there. I mean, because we still got to get rid of a few players. You know what I mean, for next season as well. Yeah, if Thiago is staying, that is.
We're going to get to the sell part of it in a minute because I want to talk about that in a minute because people seem to think that you shouldn't sell footballers. It's mad. Big up, Davey. If Liverpool play a back three next season, who will be their left wing back? I think Liverpool will play a mixture of systems next year. Yeah. Klopp's already made a light to it that the system we finished the season in was meant to be the new system for next season, but he brought it in early because the team needed a lift.
Yeah.
They're dead on the right. The team needed a lift, so he changed it early. So I think we'll be still playing a lot next season with Trent at right back being inverted. And there might be games next season when he goes, right, Trent can play midfield this game.
Yeah.
I think Trent's going to be like a Kimmich next season.
Yeah, 100%.
Kimmich is playing right back. Sometimes Kimmich is then playing DM in a double pivot in that midfield area, before he completely moved there. I think that's what we might do with Trent next season. And if that's the case, I don't want to see Robbo on that third centre back area. I think it's like the problem with Robbo in that area. It's not that he can't defend; he can defend. He's a very good defender. You're taking away the best part of Robbo's game.
Deep running with the ball,
and his agility getting forward and crossing. So if we go play a left wing back, I don't think we'd play wing backs if we played three at the back either.
You don't think so?
No, I think we'd play more of that box midfield where the midfielders push out wide. So if we played three at the back, I think Trent would be like in a box midfield where Trent would then go over to that right hand side for cover.
Yeah.
And whoever's the left one, like a Curtis Jones, say like we did, would go over to that left hand side, and drift into them wide areas. But I don't think we'd go out straight out with wing backs. I don't know. What about you?
I think we will. I think we'll go with wing backs. I think we're gonna have more than like two formations next season as well because of the personnel we've got, Jamie. It could do double pivot midfielders with four at the back. You could do like the three at the back, like you said. You could play the three in midfield now, and like it's just to accommodate games. You know what I mean, Jamie? If the game is tough and we can see we can't get through this defense, we could change formations, change personnels, and then open up that teams that's deep line defending now with these players we've got. The most important thing, in my opinion, people, like the most important thing about these players we've got, they're very intelligent. That's the most important thing. We don't have to rely on Trent and Robbo creating chances anymore. Now that double marking on them is going to be disappearing and it's going to go into that midfield, so they got space to create as well. You know what I mean? So the creativity will come from different directions next season, Jamie. I'm looking forward to that, mate.
I'm going to say this now. I think Trent breaks the assist record in the Premier League next season.
I won't be surprised, Jamie.
Because I think he's going to get so much more space next season.
Yes.
Because of the acquisitions that we brought into midfield.
Yeah.
It's going to occupy the other team's midfield and defenders more. Which is going... Because if you go, right, we're going to have to watch out for Trent attacking-wise and put everything on Trent to stop that quality coming through. Then McAllister and Dominik are just going to have their fun in that midfield area. So they're weapons, man. That helps out Trent as well. I think he's going to have a killer. I think Trent's looking at. I watched the two England games. Yes, everyone says the opposition that we played against, but no one else did it.
Nobody else did it.
So it's not like it's the opposition. They used to say about Stevie all the time. I suppose that he's playing against and all that. Well,
Moldova.
Well, anyone else can keep doing it then. So it's like, I think Trent's found a new. I think Trent's rejuvenated. I think 100%. Trent's happy again. I actually think Trent was quite down at the beginning of the season last year.
Yeah.
And he weren't right. And
he was arguing with Henderson and that, wasn't he, Jamie? Like,
he Henderson. Everyone. He never was happy. He was going off for substitute a lot. And he was kicking the ground and peed off. And, Klopp had to go at him that time. And you could see but then Klopp gave him a bit more freedom and went, we're going to build it around you. You're going to go back to how it used to be. And you need to build around Trent. You build around Trent.
He's a very special player, man.
Yeah,
very special.
Big up, Jack. He says, to be honest, Jamie, we have done some good business in last January's. Yeah, last two January's got Diaz and Gakpo. So, to be fair, if we carry that thing on and go for Gravenberch in January, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Right, I'm going to ask you a question, Fozzie. And everyone in the chat, I'm going to ask a question to everybody here right now. Is Liverpool Football Club actually sell to buy, or is that a bit of a myth? Because who have we actually sold first, apart from?
We've never sold our best players apart from Coutinho that we have to sell.
Yeah.
Other than that, nah, not really. I can't remember any top players we sold.
I don't think we're sold to buy at all. What people seem to not understand is you have to sell footballers.
Yeah.
You have to sell footballers. You have to balance the books. There's, it doesn't matter if you.
Even the great Liverpool team did it in the 80s and 70s. Yeah, remember Keegan? I mean, there's a lot of players left.
And they went and bought Kenny. And
Rush, we still rushed to Juventus.
Yeah, we went. You go Italy for a year, and we'll get your clothes. No one will know the difference, and then we'll bring you back 18 months later. And then when we went to Aldridge, right, you can go right a sausage, Dad. Now we've got Rush back. It's just a bit harsh.
It happens. It happens.
You can sell.
It depends how you see it, innit, Jamie? It depends how you portray it. I see it like selling to buy is if you're talking about Coutinho, that was a must. We had to. The player was playing sick. He wanted to leave. That's selling. You know what I mean? And then we bought 2 players, special players after that to get get through the door to compete for the league titles. Maybe that was a blessing in disguise of that one, because if you think about it, would we get Alisson and Van Dijk if it wasn't for Coutinho getting sold? So if players want to leave, that's how it is. But I don't think we're sold to buy. We don't sell our best players, Jamie. We don't. So how can we be sold to buy?
I know people. I'm surprised no one's brought it up. Mane last season. I'm surprised no one's brought that up later.
It had to go.
What I will say is, we sell the best version of Mane. That's what I'm saying. We didn't sell the best.
Look at him now.
The best version of Mane was 2 to 3 years ago, when we could have got 100 million plus.
The league winning team. That was the last time I saw him playing good.
100 million plus for him, easy. Yeah, easy. So I don't, and it looked like it was the right time for Mane to go. To be fair, because you look how it's worked out for him. I actually think it was probably the right time.
Yeah.
Let Sadio Mane go. But that's the business side of that's good. I don't see all this net spend thing. Net spend don't really exist, right? Everyone keeps telling everyone, "Oh, Chelsea spent 600 million over 2 transfer windows last season," when in reality they actually spent 82 million pounds because everything's instalments.
Yeah. So
if I go to a shop and I buy something for a £5. And then I sell something for £3, but that thing I bought for a £5, I'm paying £1 a week for it. It don't count as net spend because you can't. Literally only paid £1 up front.
Yeah.
So that's why net spend don't really exist in the way people think. And it's just about like you got players at a football club that will need to go. Joel Matip should probably go this summer.
Think about it this way, Jamie. Like, look at the 4 players that left. You know what I mean? What was their resale values? We kept them. What did that get us? Nothing. So there is a time you got to get rid of players.
Bradley says, I disagree that we're not sold to buy. If FSG and club could sell Mo, and wouldn't. The thing is, though, if they were going to do it, Ravi, they would have done it by now. This is what I'm saying. Like Salah, the highest you could have got for Salah was probably 2 years ago. We could probably got 150 to 200 million for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's sell to buy. Salah is, they gave Salah a new deal because they didn't want to sell him. They didn't want him to go, so they gave him a new deal. I just don't think the Coutinho thing was massive. The Suarez thing, they're the only real times. Sell to buy is selling the player first, getting all that rep money, and then giving it all to the manager.
Jamie, you can't do anything about players that want to leave, mate. You can't. Man. They're biting players. They're playing sick. Just get rid of them. I don't want them at the club. I want them to play for my club. Play for that's what it's all about.
Because the reason I bring this up as well is because on Twitter at the moment, there's some people on Twitter that actually works again now, by the way. Thank God. There's people on Twitter that are just never happy. No matter what business Liverpool do, they're just never, ever happy. And at the moment, we've got like 100 million net spend. And if you think that's going to stay the same, think again. And I'm like, what? You don't want us to sell any players? So if we sell players this summer to get back some money that we spent, can you ask me what's wrong with that? Do you want to do a Leeds United and just keep spending and spending and spending and spending, and then never get any return on the money you spend, and you go broke? Do you want that?
There's a lot of ways you've got to look into that as well. Like if you keep spending and overstacking your squad, how many of those players are going to be happy sitting on the bench and not playing, Jamie? You know what I mean? On a continuous basis. There's going to be a rift in the squad. Players ain't going to try as hard as they used to do anymore because they're not playing the game time they want to play. You know what I mean? They've got a lot to lose in the team, as well as international football. You know what I mean? They play international football as well. So, yeah, you got to look into a lot of stuff. You can't have an overstacked squad. You know what I mean? So, you got to, like Jamie says, you got to sell. You got to sell in order for you to even reproduce, like younger players, to get younger players through the door who want to learn their trade as well. Because if we have too many players all squashed up in the team, it's going to be impossible to move forward, going and try to sell them as well. Like I said, 4 players left. What did we get for them? Nothing. There you go.
Yeah, we the last player we sold in their peak was Coutinho.
That's it.
That is the last player we sold in their peak. That was at quality. And I'm on about your Brewsters and all that sort of malarkey. The money we got for them is unreal. But in their actual peak, at their absolute best, yeah, Coutinho's the one we sold. And let's face it, 142 million, no one could say no to that.
No, hell no.
That's just laughable. It's like the third most biggest transfer in the world at the time. You can't say no to that. And look, it helped rebuild the football club. But apart from that, as you said, most of our players are leaving on frees.
Yeah.
Mostly are leaving for free. Like,
so basically, FSG is losing money. They're not actually gaining money.
Yeah, because I think there was a tweet up from Paul Joyce today that rattled a lot of cages. That in the last 18 months.
What about the new player?
No, Liverpool spent close to 300 million and only recouped 65 or something like that. And Twitter went mad because this can't be true. Paul Joyce, what are you chatting about? This can't be true, and all that. It's because they didn't put in stock, like he didn't put like what a player would cost, the installments and all that. So yeah, it's you have to sell. You have to. You have to balance the books. People might not like this, but football's a business. It just is.
It's that now.
There's so much money in football now. We're on about billions and billions go through football clubs. You have to balance the books. You have to. Liverpool go sell players this summer, and people on Twitter will just be like, "See, told you, can't have that 100 million net spend because we have to sell players." Yeah, because a lot of players need to leave. It's just mad. Like Nat Phillips needs to leave.
That guy's career, man. I feel sorry for him, Jamie. Like,
yeah, but Joel
he could have improved.
Players need to leave. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a midfielder in our squad right now who leaves in the summer.
No, I won't be.
Because I'm looking at it and thinking we've got quite a lot of youngsters in this midfield now.
Yeah.
Klopp hates youngsters not playing football games.
But who would you keep, Jamie? And who would you
I
let go?
think Stefan might go on loan.
He's only 18. I agree.
I think he might go on loan. As I said, Stefan weren't meant to be part of this Liverpool squad right now. He just got lucky. We got lucky because of the injuries, and he was that good that he was part of the team. We had no choice. But I don't think he was meant. I'm looking at it and thinking, where does he play? If we go and get Lavia, Lavia, Fabinho, and Henderson, that's your 3 number 6s next season.
That's too much, man.
So when's Stefan going to play? You got Bajcetic, Curtis Jones. Sorry, you got Dom, McAllister, and Curtis Jones in there as well. They're all going to be ahead of Stefan.
Yeah.
So where does Stefan play? I've got a feeling Stefan might be the one who goes out on loan, man. I don't know about you.
I think he should go out on loan. Personally, I think because like you just said, we've rushed him into the team because of other players not performing and injuries. So now, in order for him to develop to the player that we all want him to develop on, a loan is the best option because we've got too many players now that play in the same position that's going to be fully fit, if you know what I mean, Jamie. Last season he played because injuries and loss of form of a lot of players. So now we ain't going to have that anymore. Like you said, where's he going to stand? So in order for him to improve and understand the way we play, the way in first team, the way to play in the first team, and that he has to go on loan. He has to, mate, in order for him to improve. Look at Mount at Chelsea. Where did he go? He went to Derby, became a better player. I mean, he came back to Chelsea and he was a different player. So he could do things like that. Just learn. He's only, is he 19, 18? So he's got a long way to go, Jamie. He's got a long way to go.
This is what I'm saying. I mean, it might not happen, and Klopp might be like, "No, I wouldn't invite my squad next season. He ain't going nowhere." But I know Klopp has always said it with young players. If he thinks they need game time, he'd rather loan them out. He said it about Harvey. Yeah, Harvey came in for that little bit. Then, Klopp was like, no, he needs to be loaned out. Loaned him out to Blackburn, and then he came back a better man. So, unfortunately for Elliot, I don't think he improved last season.
I think that injury done a lot of damage to him.
The injury did a lot to him, psychologically-wise as well. And I don't think with Stefan, I just look at it, if you're going for... This is what I'm saying. If Liverpool are in for Lavia, like they're all saying right now, him and Stefan play in the same area of the pitch, and they're both young. And if Liverpool go to spend 50 million on Lavia, Lavia is automatically in front of Stefan.
Yeah.
And then Fabinho's going to play still. Fabinho,
unless they're thinking the other way, Jamie, and because we've got the Europa League and we've got the cups, and then you could play those youngsters in these ones in it to go to next rounds and all that stuff. Unless this is the way to nurture them through, like the Klopp way, the Gegenpress and all that stuff. Maybe this is what he could do with these youngsters. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people were saying about the goalkeeper. Remember, we had a stream on your channel about Kelleher leaving. Now he might not leave because he's going to get more game time.
I've always said it. If we finished in the top 4 last season, Kelleher would have left.
Yeah,
because he wouldn't have got no game time.
Hell no. Yeah, he would have left.
Finishing 5th, Kelleher's playing all the Europa League group games.
Yeah, and the cups as well, probably. And probably one of them.
Klopp might do a madness and play Adrian all the cup games. The contract, and Kelleher's still not getting games. If that happens, then we got a big
problem. Big problem.
I think Kelleher will play all the League Cup games, but yeah, I actually think Klopp might take the Europa League a little bit more seriously than people think as well.
Well, because they've never won this competition. That's the only one that's missing.
It's the only trophy he's not won. So
should have won it in Seville, man.
Yeah, so he might feel like, let's go and win this. It's a European trophy. I think in the group stages, because the way the groups are going to be,
it's crazy.
Liverpool going to get a pretty decent group where they can put these youngsters in. But
100%.
The more it goes on, I think the more. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if Salah plays a lot of Europa League games. It wouldn't shock me.
He just wants to break records, doesn't he? Goal scoring wise. So that's how he is. He's hungry, isn't he? Yeah.
And with Stefan with this injury, I just feel like, I don't know. And Tyler Morton's coming back as well, so he'll probably go back on loan. You feel, because I don't see where he's ever going to get game time. I think he's going to do the same with Stefan, which we've done with Harvey Elliott. Go and play grown-up football at a proper level.
He needs to improve as well.
Get your physicality up and come back the following year. I think that's what he might look at, because we've got too many in that area that are quite samey, and I just don't see. He's not going to be in front of Curtis Jones. He's not going to be in front of McAllister. He's not going to be in front of Dom. He's not going to be in front of Lavia if we do buy him. He's not going to be in front of Fabinho.
Henderson, Elliott.
Henderson's always going to play games. Yeah, and Doak as well. Like Jack says there, Doak probably could do with a loan.
He needs a loan, that kid.
But he's
special though, Jamie, that kid.
There's something about him, even at 16.
Yeah.
There's something about Doak. So Liverpool probably will want him to go out on loan as well. But it's special times, ain't it?
Yeah. Listen, at least we'll talk about players, isn't it? Last time we was looking for players. Now we're talking about them. So that's the most important thing.
This is what does the fan base. Look at us all happy. We're all buzzing. It's like an instant drug that us football fans love, because it makes us happy. You look at last summer's transfer window. The only one here is Darwin Núñez.
That's it.
They've all been told to go on loan or find other clubs or whatever. Literally, Darwin Núñez is the only player that survived last summer's transfer window.
That's crazy.
And then and now you're looking at it, and we've bought, Szoboszlai and McAllister already, 2 quality midfielders. We're looking to add in a third, and they want a young centre back. So if we get Lavia or Thuram in, and we get a centre back in, Fozzie, and that's the end of our transfer window, are you happy with that?
100%, mate. That's all I needed. I said 3 midfielders, 1 centre back, and that's it. Yeah, I don't need anything else for now. And like you said, in January, there's another transfer window going to be open. If we're competing for something and we need the extra player to push us over the line, get that player, man. Don't waste any time. I mean, and it could be Gravenberch, it could be someone else. Just get that player over the line. If we have to get that player to get us winning a title or something, you know what I mean? Because I don't think we're that far away, Jamie, of the title. I know a lot of people say things I'm crazy, but we've still got majority of the team that's won titles. Now we're adding on top of that players that can help them, especially with the young, energetic midfielders and look at our forward line as well, Jamie. How many teams in Europe can say they got that forward line? That what we got. I mean, now we've got the midfielders with the forward lines. That's crazy.
Oh yeah,
come on.
That
game changes everywhere.
Yeah, that midfield we got is that strike forward line. Sorry, yeah. I mean, Gakpo, Darwin, Salah, Luis Diaz, Jota. Jota is so underrated. It's unreal.
He is, bro.
I was
mate.
thinking about letting Jota go. I've said it many times in my shows last season. Like, maybe we should just let Jota go. If we got a big bid in for Jota, I'd let him go because it's before he scored. Because it was 12 months in between, wasn't it, before he scored?
Yeah,
and all the injuries and all that. I'm like, should we just let him go because it's getting mad now? And then he goes on that. He ends the season beautifully. I'm like, oh, shut up, Jamie.
Scoring important goals. Yeah.
Shut up, Jamie. You don't know what you're on about, son. Shut up.
Do you know even Szoboszlai can play as a like a false number 9?
Yeah, I saw his transfer. I went transfer market to see his stats. He played
play
4 games as number 9.
There you go.
But most of he could play left. But most of his games have been that central midfield area and right wing.
And we've got Mo Salah leaving in January again, isn't he, for the African nations? So someone's got to fill that position.
He's got to slot into that right wing area.
There you go, mate.
I mean, it's just what Klopp likes, that versatility, and it comes in handy, you know, when you've got quality players of versatility.
Strength and depth.
That's why Milner was kept around for so long.
Man, he's the most versatile player ever, man. I'm going to miss him, though. I'm going to miss him. I mean, it was time to go, but...
Yeah, he's a great guy, but that's why he was kept around for so long, because he never let Klopp down. Never let Liverpool down, really.
Never.
We understood Milner's qualities. No, there was never a question of Milner's qualities. It was just his age, wasn't it? Because actually, Milner's actually a pretty good footballer, to be fair. I
started off as a striker, didn't he? Started off as a striker.
I actually think Milner last season was better than Henderson.
Yeah.
And
100%.
Milner's 5 years older. And so it's not a question of Milner being a footballer. It's just his age, weren't it? And it was time for him to go. But that's why he was kept around so long, because his versatility in areas of the pitch was never. This
is why, like, when the people talk about Thiago leaving, I said, nah, he's got to be the Milner replacement, Jamie. You know what I mean? You know, like when players come to Liverpool, who they're gonna look up to? I mean, Thiago. So he will attract players coming to us, and he could nurture them and teach them, you know, how to play in that midfield role as well. And listen, from time to time, he could even play as a deep line midfielder, Jamie. He could play the number 6. He done it at Bayern Munich. You know what I mean? So just keep him around, man. Just for squad morale. And, you know, you saw him last season when Darwin Núñez was coming on and Klopp started looking at him funny. He speaks Spanish. He speaks Portuguese. So he could like get those players around him, you know, and keep them on the straight and narrow as well.
Yeah, I forgot about Thiago, you know. When I was talking about all the midfielders just now, I literally forgot to mention Thiago. It's another one in front of Stefan. So Stefan's got to be loaned out. I want him to be loaned out because I don't want him just sitting on the bench and being part of the under-23s again or anything like that. I think he's too good now. So he needs for me to go out on loan. I think it'd be the best. I forgot all about bloody Thiago. Jesus Christ. We could have a midfield. I would be surprised if we see a midfield. Klopp's best midfield would probably be Fabinho, Thiago in that double pivot. And then
he will start with that in the beginning of the season, innit? You know he's going to start with Thiago.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Henderson's going to be there. It's going to happen.
It's just because who we're playing in our first game. Yeah. That's the reason. But I think in the rest of the season, I think he'll try and get Thiago, Fabinho playing together with Szoboszlai and McAllister in front of them. Jeez, that's sauce.
Oh, God damn.
That's some South American flair in there and a Hungarian.
You
know what I mean? And look, do you know who this does well for as well? Darwin Núñez. We have been talking about Darwin Núñez all last season, needing that creativity behind him that we lack when Thiago and Trent aren't playing in that midfield area.
Yeah.
Szoboszlai and McAllister will look for him all day long.
You know, like Darwin Núñez, from what I've heard, from what I've heard of Darwin Núñez, his second season is always the best season anyway. And what we need to look at last season, what was he playing the majority of the season? Who was injured? Diaz. So he played on the left majority of the season. He didn't even have time to learn how to play in the team as a striker. So next season, like you just said, this is a blessing for him. He could play as a number 9, get those goals, and just shut all those datas up. You know what I mean? And learn English as well, man. I know a lot of people think language doesn't matter, but it does.
Looks like he's struggling though, don't he?
Yeah. How can Thiago come from the stands and speak to you, bro? Just to instruct you to come on.
That's why Gakpo fitted in straight away, obviously, because he's
exactly.
He understands what Jurgen wants of him.
I love Gakpo though, Jamie. Oh,
it's hard. It's hard to say Gakpo's not our first number 9 at the moment.
Yeah. But he could play as a number 8 and he could play as a winger as well.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I see him as I see Gakpo eventually being a 10. I think that's where it
Really?
might end up. That shadow striker, one behind the one sort
Yeah.
of thing. Like a bit like Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz's best position really is the one behind the one. Yeah. He's not really the one up top like Chelsea played him.
Yeah.
You play him like at Leverkusen when Leverkusen played 4-4-1-1, didn't they? They played him behind the one. I think that's where Gakpo's probably best at, like a Bergkamp kind of role. But
his versatility is good though.
Yeah,
I like the way he played. I guess Real Madrid away in the Champions League in that midfield role. The way he came back and defended for the team and going forward with the ball as well, like with his powerful runs. Mate, next season I'm expecting us to go to big pitches and dominate in possession, Jamie. I don't know what you think, man, because that's what we struggle with the most in our team. And with Gakpo, with obviously with the two players that's come in, and Fabinho, like he's got the backup now that he needs in that midfield. Why not, man? Keep possession better and dominate teams like we wanted all along. That's how I see it, Jamie. I don't know what you think about that, man.
I think that's what Klopp likes possession in the higher ends of the pitch. That's where he wants the possession, don't he? He doesn't actually like the possession where we were having possession last season.
Just passing at the back,
Passing at the back because we didn't know because of the issues of our midfield and there was
the lack of creativity as well, Jamie. Yeah,
no creativity, the lack of midfielders, and there was no confidence in the team. It was all side passing at possession, mostly at the back. Territory-wise, we just kept the ball really and didn't move it.
Didn't do nothing.
He wants the possession further up the pitch, where you squeeze the life out of the opposition and you keep them seated back. That's where he wants to kill teams.
Yeah,
and you can do that with a Szoboszlai, with a McAllister, with a Thiago, Trent coming in as a false that inverted right back area and picking up little spaces in between central and right back areas. Where he can be ghosting in them areas.
Yeah,
that's where and also he's cutting out the passing lanes there. And that's where Liverpool want to operate, and that's why he's going after these players. And maybe a Thuram makes sense. If he wants to play that way.
All action midfielder.
Because Thuram is that, he's all your action one. He's big and he's strong and he's powerful. And he takes some stock.
Not scared of anyone, yeah.
So maybe that's why Liverpool really look at him. It's definitely interesting times. There's no doubt about it.
The most important thing here, Jamie, is expect a lot of shots from outside the box next season. Expect a lot of shots from outside the box, and that's what we've been missing for a few years, isn't it? We don't shoot from outside the box. We have to walk it in. Now we're gonna have opportunities to do that on a regular basis. Like you got Trent, like you got McAllister, and I can't even say it. Dominic. I just say Dominic. His name is difficult enough. Yeah, and Dominic obviously.
Apparently.
He's got some powerful shots, Jamie. Absolute powerhouse, mate. I can't wait for that, man. Because I haven't seen that for a few years, man. Like a regular shots from outside the box.
The Ox was the only one who did it, really.
Yeah, and what happened to him?
Yeah, Ox was the only one. Yeah, John Arnorisa. John Arnorisa had one of the most powerful left foots I've ever seen in my life.
Oh.
Do you remember he broke Alan Smith's ankle by taking a shot?
Ooh. That goal against Bartes, man, at Anfield. Wow.
Yeah, that free kick. Yeah, Szoboszlai, I believe is the way you pronounce it.
Szoboszlai.
The Z is a long S, with the Z, S and the Z is a long S, apparently. So apparently Szoboszlai or something like that.
It's difficult, man.
Everyone's going to mess it up. Don't worry about that.
We'll catch you eventually. Don't worry about that. With time.
Exactly. Can't wait to hear Peter Drury when he commentates. Szoboszlai will wear Gerrard's number 8, apparently, Jamie. Yeah, he's got the number 8 shirt.
I like that.
Comes a sort of Hungarian Gerrard. Stevie would be proud of him wearing it.
It was offered to McAllister, Jamie, and he said, nope. Too much pressure on that shirt.
He went, no, I'm all right, cheers. Look, we haven't had a number 8 since Gerrard. I'm not talking about the other geezer. So we ain't had
Nah.
We haven't had a number 8 since Stevie. I bet McAllister's looking at it. I don't want the Nabby curse.
No. Oh, damn. They come from the same club as well. Oh, God, that doesn't help.
It's not as long as both S in English. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I
ends.
It's just so Szoboszlai.
Oh,
I'm glad you're on the FSG in shirt. I'm going. Look, if they get all these players in, I'll wear an FSG in shirt just for vibes, Just survived. Where is he? Where is he? Our Lord and Savior.
There you go. Freaking hell.
I just love the cigar, man. I just geezer. There's part of me. Big up into the super chat. Not much love, man. There's part of me that actually really likes John Henry because I bet he looks like he could be funny. You know what I mean? He looks like he could. You know when he said about Arsenal, what they're smoking over at the Emirates.
Oh yeah.
He looks like he don't give a shit. That's what I actually like about him. He looks like he don't care. He don't give a shit what people think. And I kind of like that in people that, you know, I don't care what you think of me sort of attitude. I actually kind of like that, you know. I actually kind of like that in a person. And as I said, just stick your hand in your pocket a little bit more. We'll all be happy.
You'll have no problems. You've got the best fans in the world in your hands, man. You know what I mean? That's just all they want is a little ambition. That is it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Sell all your other franchises and just concentrate on Liverpool.
Concentrate on Liverpool.
Because let's face it, we're going to make you the most money.
Yeah.
You know, Red Sox will probably make you a lot of money because of the size of America. Mm-hmm. But Liverpool worldwide brand is massive. So we're, you know, just sell everything else. Just concentrate on Liverpool. That's all. Be happy. You give the money. We start winning things. Everyone's happy. It's a lovely family over here. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Yeah, guys. Right, listen, we're going to leave it there. Thank you for joining me. It's late. It's a Sunday night. I don't usually do late Sunday night shows. But yeah, big up Fozzie for joining me. I do appreciate it. Big up everyone in the chat being here. I know it's late. It's Sunday night. All got things to get ready for work and all that sort of stuff. So I do appreciate, guys. I'm back to our normal times tomorrow. We've got a Lavia video coming up tomorrow as well, and also looking at the way we play, how we're going to set up next season. So make sure you're joining me tomorrow, guys. And of course, on Wednesday we'll have the call-in show back as well. Big up Retired Saturn with a super. Jamie, Dominik Szoboszlai, show by example leader, so we get a younger player that is also accountable. Yeah, he's got a big
high ceiling.
Yeah, and he's like
he's a Hungarian captain already at 22.
Yeah, he's that sort of player. So give me it. I don't pressure's not a thing to me. Just give me it. I want to soak it all up. He's that kind of footballer, and yeah, that's what we want, man. He took the number 8. He's like, yeah, I'll take that number 8 shirt. I don't give I want that pressure. Yeah, big up, guys. Thanks for all joining us. I appreciate it. And guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bye-bye for now.